Alrighty, so another little live video here with my kiddo, Sam. We won't give spoilers, we promise, but we just got out of seeing Star Wars: The Last Jedi. We're here in Folsom, our favorite theater, right? Palladio. Let's see if I can tack on some people. I don't know if anyone just took a look at the photos I just posted, but they have classic stormtroopers out front.
They may have been just fans dressed up.
You think so? No, they were actually, I saw someone's pictures. They were here last night also.
Oh. Well
for
then.
the actual premiere. So I think the movie put them out here. They're probably paid extras. Like people paid to
That's awesome.
look the part, right? And so I didn't think they'd be here today, so I'm really glad that they're here today. As we were walking out, because as you can see, Sam is dressed up like classic Princess Leia. I'm just in my Darth Vader onesie. It's any excuse I have to wear pajamas in public, I'll do it. But
like Halloween.
Oh yeah, Halloween. I'm gonna drive around. I drove around in this and Lyft last night. I'm gonna drive around and Lyft in this tonight because we just saw the movie. So yeah, they actually stopped us outside, and it was kind of cute because people obviously are taking pictures with those stormtroopers. And then all of a sudden you hear, and in the mask you can hear them through the voices are just like in the movie. That's why I don't think that they're people dressed up. I don't think they're cosplay people. And they're like, excuse us, princess over here, princess over here. And so the first picture we took, and you can look on the Facebook prior to this post, after I post this video, but so the first picture, they are capturing Princess Leia, and I tell Sam, smile, but what was your response?
I'm being captured.
Right, so she's like, I'm being captured. I said, okay, good point, but I said, have a look on your face like you've got something up your sleeve. And then so I snapped that picture, and then we thought they were done, and the next group of people were going to do their picture, but then they go, wait, princess, come here. And then he says it again, and then he hands Sam his blaster and allows Sam to, like, she basically took over, stole the blaster, and now has the stormtroopers captured.
I have the high ground.
Yes, so that was dope. So took that picture, and then he asked for me to send those to him, so I just texted those to him. So I thought that was pretty cool. We're not going to give spoilers, like I said. It'll be a really quickie, because according, I guess my daughter was saying, and I saw this too, there's people that either hated this sequel or loved this sequel. There wasn't any middle ground. And this is the 8th installment of the Star Wars saga. There's only one more after this. And so, I don't know. Okay, I'll go first, and then I'll let Sam chime in, so we'll do our best not to give you spoilers. I loved it. I did. It was well directed. It was well acted. There is funny scenes. There are thought-provoking scenes. The action is really on point. And there were some surprises. There were scenes we didn't expect to see, right, Sam? Like moments in the movie that we didn't expect. We're like, oh, okay, that's kind of a cool twist. I think that was one of your first things you said when I asked you.
Yeah, that I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, in this day and age, when you can see movie previews, and sometimes they just give you the whole movie in the preview. That didn't happen in this case. I don't know if there's any books out or comics. I'm sure there are. I don't read them, so it isn't like Harry Potter where, you know, you read all the books and then saw the movie, so you kind of knew what to expect. It was really nice and refreshing to not really know what was going to happen. There are a lot of strong female characters in this movie, which I love. So I love the strong women characters and actresses in the movie. I love the diversity of the ethnicity of all the people in the movie. I think that was really, really awesome.
And right at the beginning, I had pointed out, in the Resistance, there is a character played by actress Billie Lourd, who, if you don't know, is the daughter of Carrie Fisher. And she's also in Scream Queens, if you're into that.
Yeah, that's true. And in fact, if you want to recognize who she is, it's because she has the same classic...
Yeah, she's blonde, but she has, like, little buns on the back of her head.
Yep, she's got the 2 buns. Because isn't that... so, in the first Star Wars A New Hope, Leia had 1, right?
What?
The ponytail thing?
Or
did she have 2? Well, then I thought there was 1, 2, and 3. Because
in the prequels? Are you talking about the prequels?
The prequels. So Sam pointed this out to me the last time we watched. So in the prequels, Padme has the 1.
Oh, yeah. In, I think most notably in Attack of the Clones in the Battle of Geonosis, she had her hair in a bun and all these twists.
Correct. So that's the prequels. That was Luke and Leia's mom.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman, played by Natalie Portman. Then Leia comes along and she's posts the 2 buns.
Yeah.
Rey comes along, she has the 3 dopper in the back.
Yeah, people are like, hey, that has to mean something.
It does. I think it's a little thing. So I think Carrie Fisher's daughter having a role in there and having the 2 buns, I think, was kind of paying homage to classic Leia, to be honest.
She actually made a couple cameos in Force Awakens, but I saw that she had more of a role in this one.
Oh, yeah, she had a predominant role in this one. I liked... Oh, you had mentioned something about there were certain aspects of past movies that reminded you?
Yeah. Throughout the movie, I was quick to spot some similarities that were reminiscent of the original trilogy. Most notably, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
I saw that too. And I think there's purpose for it. I think it's... to be honest, and I mean, without giving the actual spoilers, I think what it's supposed to say is history will continue to repeat itself until you learn the lesson. Because that's what happens with history. That's what happens. You know, you can go deeper, like with dreams. There's a belief that in our dreams, it's our subconscious telling us, we're just telling ourselves, we're giving ourselves message in the subconscious that we're not listening in the conscious world. And until we get that lesson and move on, the dream's going to continue to repeat itself. Well, that's, I think, the situation here with the characters, with Finn and Rey and a few of the others. History seems to somewhat repeating itself until the lesson is truly learned.
There's a little lesson that's said by one of the characters, I won't say who, but failure is the best teacher.
Failure is the best teacher. You have to learn to embrace the suck. This is true. I think there were really cool life lessons denoted around the Force in this one. They definitely focused on the basis of the Force and where that comes from. Yeah,
no midichlorians. I'm sorry, what? We don't speak of those.
Oh, Sam, you're so cute. No, but seriously, it's I loved that because probably up until like when 4 and 5 and 6 came out, my favorite one was Empire Strikes Back.
It's my dad's favorite too.
Yeah, because that's and the main reason is because it was where Luke was learning about the Force and he was learning about his past and he's learning the lesson and he was struggling with him through the 6th movie. Who is he really? Is he his father? You know, is he his own person? Will the dark side suck him in? And that's honestly a lesson that all of us, that's a struggle a lot of us go through. So that was why Empire was my favorite movie. And this one I think, and I've seen 7 several times, I think because it led up to and all of the elements that are in this one, in number 8, it's right up to the top there too, because they focus a lot more on the Force and they get a lot deeper with it, which I dig.
Yeah.
And there's some really campy, fun moments, funny. I think there were a couple that, I think it's because the theater wasn't as full, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So there were some comedy lines that just sort of fell. But I think it's just because it wasn't a packed audience and it was 10 o'clock in the morning. But to me, they were still funny, so.
And most of them were BB-8, because, you know, you can't not love BB-8.
Yes, BB-8 is freaking awesome. So overall, out of 10... what would you give a recommendation on this one?
Out of
From
10?
1 to 10. To see.
9.
A 9?
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 9 too. So there you go. So that was just our basic. We're not going to give any spoilers, but we're going to give our feels. I know my friend Donald Wicks, he's going to post a very in-depth, spoiler-filled blog of why he hates this movie. So I'm looking forward to reading, I know he's not watching this, but Donald, I'm looking forward to reading that blog because I'm curious to know why you hate it so much. That moflicka flew down to LA and watched the royal screening. So he saw it before everyone else.
Yeah.
And just was hating on this movie.
Because I was telling Mom earlier, people think that the new trilogy is worse than the prequels.
I know they think that, and that's on them. I think people...
Hey, I'm just saying, I didn't see any politics in this one.
I know. In my opinion, before we end this, I just think people who hate on movies like this, that can hate on those, somewhere they lost their spark of imagination, and they lost that ability to kind of get lost in the fantasy and just forget about being an adult for a while and to, you know, fly on the wings of believe and hope. You know, it's just like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. It's not the actual people or the characters. It's the faith and believing is what you're supposed to get out of it. So I think in this movie, it brought that back. Having hope and faith and belief and
that one spark.
Yeah, I think it had that. So there you go. I give it a 9 out of 10. Sam gives it a 9 out of 10. We think you should see the movie. Thanks for tuning in, and continue to have an awesome Friday.
And may the force be with you.
Always.